Hi guys, I hope you're all doing really well. Now today I wanted to film an unboxing video, but unfortunately the postman has not been yet today, so I can't do an unboxing haul until those parcels arrive, and I'm really gutted because I was hoping they'd arrive today, but it's now about 3 o'clock in the afternoon and the postman still hasn't been, so I'm guessing they're not going to arrive today. So I'm going to do a haul anyway, because I was going to do an unboxing video and a haul combined together, but I think I'll do them separately as I can't wait any longer to show you the books I've acquired recently. So I've got quite a few books to show you. Some of these are books that I've ordered and they arrived a couple of weeks ago and I've already opened. Some of them are from publishers, one of them is from the library, and some of them are from a boot fair that I went to on the weekend. So I'm going to start with the books that I've actually bought myself, and I've only got 3 of those. But the first one I got is Shatter Me by Tahara Mafi. Now I've heard so many people talk about this book that I just couldn't not buy it. I was so tempted to buy the whole series, but I've decided to stick with the first one and see whether I like it before I buy the rest, because there have been some kind of mixed reviews. Some people have absolutely loved this series, but other people have said they were kind of disappointed by it. So I'm really looking forward to reading this and seeing whether I can get into it or not. And I just adore the cover as well. I think it's so beautiful, so I'm really looking forward to giving this book a go. So that was the first book that I bought, and this is about somebody has a gift, they're more than human, and their touch is power. And no one knows why Juliet's touch is fatal, but the re-establishment has plans for her, plans to use her as a weapon. But Juliet has plans of her own. After a lifetime without freedom, she's finally discovering a strength to fight back for the very first time, and to find a future with the one boy she thought she'd lost forever. So, sounds exciting. It's kind of like a dystopian fantasy kind of love story, which I'm really looking forward to reading. So yes, very excited about this one. Then in the same order, I also bought 2 other books, and these are both books in the same series, and I've also ordered the next 2 in the same series as well, because I think there are 4 in the total series. And the first one is The Maze Runner by James Dashner, and the second one is a second book in the Maze Runner series, which is called The Scorched Trials by James Dashner. And I think these covers are really lovely. I really like the kind of colours on them, and the way that the font is kind of giving an insight into the picture. I think that's lovely. And also the backs are nice and shiny, which is always good when there's a shiny book. And also the spines look really lovely together, which is always good as well. I'm not entirely sure what this is about, but the blurb of The Maze Runner says, when the doors of the lift crank open, the only thing Thomas can remember is his first name. But he's not alone. He's surrounded by boys who welcome him to the Glade, an encampment at the centre of a bizarre and terrible maze. Like Thomas, the Gladers don't know why or how they came to be there, or what's happened to the world outside. All they know is that every morning when the walls slide back, they will risk everything to find out. So, really excited about that one. And I haven't read the blurb to The Scorched Trials yet, because I don't want to know if there's any spoilers on the blurb, so I'm only going to read the blurb on this one, and then read this one, and then go straight on to the next one. And like I say, I've ordered the other 2, the Death, Cure and Kill order, which I think are the 3rd and 4th books. I'm really excited to have a whole collection, and then I'll start reading them. So yeah, really excited about those 2. Then from publishers and authors this week, the first book I got sent was from the lovely Isabel Wolf, and she sent me a copy of her new novel called Ghost Written. Now I really quite like the cover of this. It's a little bit, it reminds me a bit of a historical fiction novel, and I think this could be a little bit kind of in the past, but I just think it's a really intriguing cover. And this is about Jenny, who ghost writes the lives of other people. It's a job that suits her well, but she's still haunted by childhood tragedy, and she finds it easier to take refuge in the memories of others than to dwell on her own. She was a child in the Second World War. She has never spoken of her experiences there. As she turns 80, she knows the time has come to share her extraordinary story of survival. So yeah, I think it is kind of a historical fiction, somebody's storybook. So really looking forward to reading this one, and thank you so much to Isabel for sending me a copy of this as well. That was so kind of you. Then earlier this week I got a surprise book in the post from my lovely author friend called Pete Sortwell. Now he is a legend, and he just randomly sent me this book because I've been talking to him for a while about my own writing, and I was talking about how sometimes I find it really hard to write in first person. So he sent me this book called The Burglar Diaries by Danny King, because he said that this is a really good example of somebody writing in the first person and doing it well. So thank you so much, Pete, for sending me this. I'm really looking forward to reading this. I don't really know too much about it, but I know that it's one of Pete's favourite books, so I'm really looking forward to getting into it. And I think it was published quite a while ago now, yeah, 2001, so it's an old book, but I'm really looking forward to getting into it and kind of finding a bit more out about Danny King and his writing, and he comes highly recommended, so I'm looking forward to giving this one a go. Also this week I got a bit of a strange book in the post. I've never heard of this book before, I didn't request it, it was an unsolicited copy, and it is called Call the Vet by Anna Birch. Farmers, Dramas and Disasters, My First Year as a Country Vet. And I think this is kind of like, it's called The True Life Misadventures of a Rural Vet. So I think it's like somebody who is a vet and she's kind of written her memoirs, which is kind of strange because I've never really been that interested in vets, as it were, but it could be an interesting read. I'm not going to knock it. I mean, when I first saw it, I was like, this is just really weird. I don't know whether this is going to sell many copies, but I'm you know, I'm up for reading it. I'll give it a go because you know you can't knock something until you've tried it. But I have to say the kind of idea of it is a bit strange, but I am kind of looking forward to reading it. I think it's just a story of a woman who is a vet, and it's her memoirs and about how she fell in love with the countryside and animals and a man, I guess. So yeah, interested to read that one. Then the final book that I sent from publishers this week was a book that I didn't request, but I think I don't think I requested it, and it's called The Abduction by The Abduction by Jonathan Holt, and it is a gorgeous hardback. This is from Head of Zeus. It's a gorgeous, very striking cover, and the blurb says, "A teenage girl is kidnapped. The world must decide her fate. The abduction has begun." So just love, love, love the sound of that book. So thank you so much to Becky at Head of Zeus for sending me this, because you always send me beautiful books and beautiful finished copies, so thank you so much. I'm super excited about reading this one. Then from the library this week, I only had one book to collect because it was one of the books that I reserved through their kind of reservation system, and it is Pivot Point by Casey West. Now I am so excited to start reading this book. Megan from Reading in the Sunshine tells me all the time how much she loves this series of books and how much I need to read them. So I listened to her and I borrowed it from the library, and now I cannot wait to read it. She says that they're amazing and she raves about them all the time, and that means that they're good, because Megan doesn't always, when she raves about a book, she raves about a good book. She never raves about rubbish books, so I'm really looking forward to reading this. And I think this is about a girl who, let's see, I think it's about a girl who can see into the future, and I think I think it's a bit like a modern, not a modern day, but like a kind of dystopian modern retelling of the film Sliding Doors. If you've seen that film, it's kind of about a woman who has two different lives. She leads two different types of lives, and then, like, yeah, if you haven't seen the film, it's going to be hard to explain, but I think it's that kind of idea that somebody can see into their future but see two different paths they could take, and I think it's perhaps which path he chooses to take or what she does to ensure that one of the paths doesn't happen or something like that. But I don't know too much about it, but I'm really, really excited. I'm definitely going to be reviewing this one very, very soon. So then on Sunday I went to a boot fair, which is like, I guess, like a boot sale or a garage sale, and I picked up 5 books. Now the 5 books I picked up, I wasn't going to buy these 5 books especially, but they're just 5 books that I saw and thought they looked quite good. The first one I picked up is a book that I have kind of been putting off reading forever because I never wanted to read it, but again, Megan from Reading in the Sunshine wants to read it as well, so I decided that we could do a read along together, and it is Twilight by Stephanie Meyer or Stephanie Mayer. I'm not quite sure of how to pronounce her surname, and I found this copy. It was only, I think, 50p, and it's really lovely because it's got a red deckled edge. Is it deckled edge? That's not a deckled edge, is it? Deckled edge is where it's all bumpy. I think this is just like a red edge to it. So I will be interested to read Twilight. I cannot say that I'm a massive fan of the sound of it, but I guess I have to give it a go because, you know, you can't judge something until you've tried it. So yes, Twilight. I got this one at the boot fair and I'm looking forward to reading it along with Megan. The second book that I picked up was just a random book that I found that I thought looked quite good. Again, it was really ridiculously cheap, like something like 20p or something, and it is called Never Tell by Claire Sieber, and I think this is kind of like a thrilling crime novel. A secret never to be told. With her millionaire husband and beautiful children, journalist Rose has an enviable life, but beneath the domestic bliss lies a terrible secret. So yeah, it's going to be like a secrety, crimey thriller. Well, actually it says it's got terror, law and order and drama in it, so what more could you want in a book? So I'm looking forward to reading that one. I also picked up this one because, again, it's not a book I've ever heard of, it's not a book that I was intending to pick up, but I saw it and I just adored the cover and it kind of attracted me to it, and it is called Ruby Redford, Look Into My Eyes. by Lauren Child, and it is a hardback and it is a YA fiction novel. And the blurb says, "Meet Ruby Redford. Every smart kid. What would you do if you were a 13-year-old kid and a secret agency asked you to become their ace code cracker? Panic. Panic will freeze your brain. Tell all your friends. You'll be out on your ear, bozo. Could you keep it zipped? Well, could you, Buster?" Luckily for Ruby Redford, she's not your average kid. She's never going to crack. She's super smart, she's always cool, and she can keep her mouth shut. Can't she? There's only one way to find out. So actually, I don't think this is YA, this is more like children's fiction, more like middle grade fiction. So I'm excited about reading it because I love the cover and I thought it sounded really interesting, and I've never read anything by Lauren Child before, and I've never heard of this book before, so it'll be really interesting to find out more. It was published by HarperCollins. Let me just have a look how many years ago. Oh, it was published in 2011, so it's not actually that old, so I'll be interested to read it and find out a bit more about the author and about this book. And then finally, I was really super excited because I saw these two books sitting on somebody's stall, and I paid £1 for the pair of them, which was a really brilliant bargain. Now I have to say that these are the last and second to last book in a series, which is kind of frustrating because I don't have the other books in the series, but I've been looking at this series on the internet for quite some time now, and I've been kind of debating between buying them or not buying them, and I think it was kind of a sign that I saw these ones at the boot fair and I was just like, okay, this is a sign that I have to buy them. So, and they are Rapture by Lauren Kate and Fallen in Love by Lauren Kate, and these are part of the Fallen, I think it's a Fallen World series, or the Fallen series, yeah. And the books are Fallen, Torment, Passion, Fallen in Love and Rapture. So this is the last book in the series, and this is the second to last book in the series. And it's kind of frustrating because I do only have two of them, and it would be brilliant to have the previous three so I could actually read the series all in one go. But I'm kind of excited that I've got the two to start off the collection with, then I can always look out for the other three that I need to go with it. But I don't know too much about this series, but I think it's kind of perhaps about angels or something kind of otherworldly, I think, maybe. But yeah, really looking forward to giving these two books a go when I finally get around to getting the rest of the series. So if you've read the Fallen series or you know much about it, then let me know in the comments below if it's a series you would definitely recommend I invest in and start reading really soon. And the same goes for any of the books I've spoken about. If any of them are books that you have read and you think that I need to read them really quickly, then let me know. I'm super excited about the Maze Runner series. I've heard so many good things about them, so I'm really hoping that my other Maze Runner books arrive soon so I can get started, because I'm one of these people that likes to read a series all in one go. I don't like to wait around for the next book in a series, so really looking forward to getting the rest so I can then start it all in one go. And the same goes for Shatter Me. I'm really looking forward to reading this one, and I hope that I like it. And I'm in the camp of lovers rather than in the camp of haters, because there's nothing worse than picking up a book that's completely raved about and not enjoying it. So really hope that I will enjoy this one. So yeah, that's all I've got to show you today, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this haul. I will be back hopefully before the end of the week with a unboxing video, because I did order quite a lot of boxes of books, and I've also got a couple, hopefully, fingers crossed, coming from publishers, so I really want to show you those as well. So hopefully before the end of the week I will have an unboxing video for you all. So thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you again very soon. Bye!